I don't know. Unedited would be really, I don't know. I'll consider that. Not up. Most people, they do their live streams and then they edit them and then upload videos that are a small piece of the live stream. But maybe I'll consider uploading the entire thing unedited. Maybe. What's the difference between equality, equity, and justice? Wow. Okay. That's a little bit of a harder question to answer. I'll have to explain some kind of philosophical ideas to truly explain that. So equality versus equity. Let's start with that. Because this is like a very common mistake that lots of people don't quite understand. So equality, everybody. Equality is if you give, if every individual or every group is given the same thing or the same opportunities, that's equality. Equity is a little different. Equity is recognizing that some people have some circumstances and other people have other circumstances, and you want to make them all the same. So equality means he has a lot and he has a little, but we're both going to give each 20. We're going to give them both $20. Okay? So the guy who's rich, we gave him 20. And the guy who's poor, we gave him 20. That's equality. Equity is saying, hey, he's rich. We don't need to give him anything. He's poor. We should give him more. That's equity. Okay? Justice, that's a slightly different thing. Justice is... Let me consider my words for a moment. Justice is usually referring to law or morality. In law, justice is based on the laws of your country. In morality, justice is based on your spiritual sense of good and bad. So there's inner justice and there's outer justice. Bro Agung says, how can I speak English without translating in my head? Well, bro, you need to start speaking English in your head every day. So when you walk down the road, think in English. Just think, just simple things. I'm late. I'm hungry. I'm fat. I'm ugly. I'm cute. Whatever. Just think, that's good. That's bad. I like that. I don't like that. I want that. I don't want that. The first thing you should do is start trying to use your English brain as much as you can. You can practice English all day if you just learn how to think in English. Okay? And yes, Asma, I am an English teacher. Do I teach English? Yes, I do. Do I offer particular classes? Elena, I do and I don't. Right now, I don't have any time for any new students, and I get so many requests that my cost is also a little bit high, so many people can't afford me. But, Elena, if any of you are interested in lessons, I probably can't help you, but I have a group of friends of mine that are teachers whom I trust. Okay, teachers whom I trust very very greatly. And they're great English teachers with a great background, some of which I think are better than me. So if you need a teacher, message me, or better yet, email me. Email me. Find my email on my profile. And then you can email me. And I have a teachers collective, a group of teachers that are friends of mine, and they will be your teachers if you want. Okay? Not for free. You have to pay for it. It's our job. It's what we do. Equity is like balance. Yeah, it's a bit more like balance. Yeah, a bit more. Yeah, equity is recognizing that some people had an advantage and some people had a disadvantage, and that you shouldn't give everyone equal things. You should recognize the advantages and disadvantages and then try to make those things seem more balanced. Okay? Asma, I don't have any groups, but you can watch my live streams and join here a lot. I do live streams about 10 times a day, or 10 times a week, 10 times a day, 10 times a week. 10 times a week I do live streams. So follow me and you'll learn a lot. Okay? Do I know any pages or slang for a slang dictionary? Liz, there's a dictionary called Urban Dictionary, urbandictionary.com. It's a dictionary of slang, but Liz, it's not official. It's not official. It's like Wikipedia. So there are some things on that page that are real and true, and that's real slang. And then there are some things on that page that somebody thought it would be really funny to make something that's not slang, but try to tell people it's slang. Okay, so urbandictionary.com is a place you can go if you want to explore some American English slang. But please remember that it's not an official site. Those are not official words, and that there's no official. There's no person who says, yeah, that's actually a word and that's not. So anyone can put anything on there, and many people do put a bunch of stupid stuff on there. So just remember that, okay? How can you make friends in this application, Asma? Well, it's a numbers game, my friend. It's a numbers game. So if you only ask 10 people, then yeah, you probably won't get a good answer. If you ask 100 people, you might get a few more people who answer. If you ask 1,000 people, you'll get some replies. So the question is, do you have the endurance and the persistence to want to make a friend? Most people, they send a message 10 times and they say hi, and that's all they do. And they don't get any friends because that's so lazy. So, yeah, that's what they need to do is if you want to make a friend here, message a lot of people. And then here's the most important part, Asma. Be interesting. Be curious and be interesting. So ask them a question about themselves. If you want to be their friend, if you want them to talk to you, then ask them something about their life. Look at their profile page and say, oh, I see you're from Egypt. I've always wanted to go to the pyramids. Oh, I see you're from Texas. I think someone told me Texas has really good barbecue. Can you tell me about Texas barbecue? Oh, I see you're from California. Are California beaches really great, or are they not so good? Ask about 1,000 of those questions to 1,000 people, and then you'll get lots of friends. Okay? But if making friends were easy, then friends wouldn't be valuable. Hello? Let me say that one more time. If making friends were easy, then friends wouldn't be valuable. So if you want a friend, then you must take the time to try to make one. Okay? Laura, hello. We're just talking about anything. We're just talking about anything right now. Liz, let me see. Maybe I can help you a little bit. Try this. Here is a page that has about 70 English common slang terms. Those are official. Okay? So you can go to that one and try that. Laura says, so by extension, anything that you obtain the easy way is not valuable. Well, not necessarily, but possibly. Possibly. So, Laura, is it possible that you could walk down the street and trip over a diamond? Yeah, it's possible. It's highly, highly unlikely, but it's possible. But if you want that diamond, you probably have to dig for it most of the time. So, occasionally, valuable things do come easily, but not always, and not often, in my experience. Sophia, 你觉得我说太快了吗？为什么？我不觉得。我觉得我说慢一点。Do I like to go to the beach? Sarita, I love the beach. But, Sarita, I live in Ohio, and that's very far from the beach. Okay? I would have to drive about 14 hours to go to the beach. Okay? I would have to drive a long time to go to the beach. But I love the beach. I just don't go very often. Do we have rivers? Yes, Liz. My city, Cincinnati, is right on the Ohio River. Like, we're right next to the Ohio River, which is a pretty big river in the United States. And there are many other rivers nearby. We also have the Great Lakes. The Great Lakes are closer to me than the ocean. And the Great Lakes, if you didn't know, the Great Lakes are ocean-sized. If you go to the Great Lakes in America and you go on a boat, if you go out in the water, you can't see land anywhere. Those lakes are so big, they're like oceans. So, if I drive about 4 hours, maybe 5 hours, I can go to the Great Lakes beaches there. But those are lake beaches, not ocean beaches. Yes, Ohio. Why do people feel sad, and how can you remove this feeling? Asthma, sadness is part of life. And it's an important part of life. So don't try to get rid of it, but just try to live with it and understand it better. Every bad feeling that you have is a teacher. every bad feeling you have is a teacher. So if you feel sad, there's a reason why, and you need to think about it. If you feel angry, there's a reason why, and you need to think about it. If you feel embarrassed, there's a reason why, and you need to think about it. Your feelings are teachers. Okay? Your feelings are teachers. Do I share the Great Lakes with Canada? That's correct. Yes, Amy, the Great Lakes are right in between America and Canada. Is Cincinnati the biggest city of Ohio? Alan, I don't think so. There are three big cities in, there are three medium-sized cities in Ohio. There really aren't any big cities in Ohio. Cincinnati, Columbus, and Cleveland. Those are the three biggest cities in my state. What do I think of the current American economy? It's terrible. It sucks. Everything in America is too expensive. It's out of control. Leonardo, you live in Fort Wayne? No kidding. Wow, that's right near me. Leonardo, we should hang out sometime. I bet you can tell me where I can get some good tacos. I'm always looking for another good taco stand. So, Leonardo, if you come into Cincinnati, you make sure you message me and we'll go get some tacos. All right? Yeah, man. I love tacos. So, Nada, how long is this stream? About another 45 minutes. About another 45 minutes. Maybe a little bit less. Do I speak more slowly here than in daily life? Maybe, but not really. I speak at this speed anytime I want someone to listen to me. The faster you speak, the less meaning your words have. The slower you speak, the more meaning your words have. So, I speak this slowly whenever I want someone to hear me, whenever I want someone to listen to me. Then I speak at a speed that sounds important. If I said everything like this, then nothing has any meaning at all. I can speak really quickly, but I just don't like to, because what's the point? Get it? The faster you speak, the less meaning your words have. The advantages in my country, Asma, well, that's a hard one to say, my friend. There are advantages, but there are many disadvantages too, you know? You can be anything you want to be here, but it can be difficult because multiculturalism is an amazing thing, but it does take a lot of work. It does take a lot of work and an effort. But I love it. Do I know about Kurdistan? Yes, I do. I have a Kurdish restaurant in my neighborhood. Yes, Ohio is LeBron James' hometown. Ohio is the state. LeBron is from Cleveland, I believe. Cleveland is the city in Ohio that he's from. Nada, when I create my streams, I always put them as 60 minutes, but they're usually more like an hour and 40 minutes. I put them as 60 minutes because sometimes maybe I'll have to end and go do something. I have a life. And so I give myself the choice of saying, well, today maybe I only do 1 hour and then I'm done. But most days, let's put it this way, Nada, I have never done 1 hour. I always do an hour and a half or even 2 hours. How many languages do I speak? I speak English and I speak Chinese, and then I know a little bit of probably about 12 or 13 other languages. Just a little. Do I know anything about Egypt? I know about the pyramids, and I know about Egyptian civilization, and I know about Giza and Alexandria, and I know about the pharaohs, and I know about the Nile, and I know about papyrus, and I know a little bit about Egypt. A little bit. Isaac, what is my job? My job is being me. My job is being me. My job is doing anything that I can do. And I can do many things. LeBron is from Akron. Well, there you go. Akron is a small city in between Columbus and Cleveland. So my state kind of looks like a square, my state, and I'm in the bottom left corner of the square, and in the top right corner of the square is Cleveland. So on this screen, if you're looking at me, then Cleveland is up here, and Cincinnati is down here, and right in the middle, right there on my nose, that's Columbus. And right here, there's Akron. Have I ever been to Indonesia? Nope. I would like to, but I've never been. Do I suggest moving from Istanbul to Ohio for a job? That depends on what job, but probably not. I don't know. I'm not sure about, I don't know a lot about the Turkish economy. I don't know if it'd be better or worse. Thank you, Amy. Do I know other apps like this app? I do, but I don't use any of them. What's the point? I'm here. Asma says, you're learning 2 languages at the same time, but I don't know, is it better to focus on one? Asma, you can learn more than 1 language at the same time. You can learn 10 languages at the same time. But it's hard. So can you learn 10 languages at the same time? Yeah, but it's hard. Can you learn 2 languages at the same time? Yeah, but it's hard. So yeah, it's better to try to focus on one if possible. Roman, how do you talk to me on a live stream? Well, I believe I think you have to have a VIP to raise your hand. But I can invite you if I want to invite you. Where are you from, Roman Gogoy? Or how do you say your last name? I don't even know. Gogoy. Where are you from? I don't recognize your flag. Roman Gogoy. Where are you from? You're from India, but what flag is that? That's not the Indian flag. Thank you very much, Amy. That's very sweet of you to say. And thank you, Liz. Mohammed, yeah, I'm sure you can speak in Uzbek very fast, but if you want someone to listen to you, do you speak fast? I don't. How can you discover yourself? Abdo, ask questions. Look inward. Look inward. It's your profile picture. Okay. Well, I can see a flag that doesn't look like the Indian flag, so I don't know. But okay. Anyway. Hello. Is it Lena? Okay. Would anyone like to raise their hand and come talk to me? Raise your hand if you'd like to come talk to me. Asma, how much time should you take to learn English in a day? As much as you can. There's no good answer for that. If I say 2 hours, that means nothing. If I say 4 hours, that means nothing. Because 4 hours of lazy studying is not good. 1 hour of really good studying, focused studying, that's good. Okay, so I won't tell you an amount of time. It's not about quantity of time. It's about quality of time. Okay? It doesn't matter how much time you spend. It does matter how well you spend that time. Okay? All right. Nobody wants to come talk to me. I feel sad. Javi. Javi wants to come talk to me. Hello, Javi. Hola. Mucho gusto.
Hello. Mucho gusto.
Hello, my friend. How are you?
Good, good, mighty fine. How is it everything over there?
Pretty good. Pretty good. It's turning out to be a nice day. It's going to be a little hot, but I think it's going to be nice. I think later I'll probably change into shorts.
Oh,
I have jeans
I
on
feel
now,
you.
but
I feel you. That's becoming a problem over here too.
yeah, it's
It's
getting
getting
hot.
so hot.
Yeah, it's getting hot. Yeah. So, Javi, did you have a question or something you wanted to ask me about today, or do you want to just chat?
I just entered here, and I tell you, it's the first time I enter into your session. And you were talking about how important it is to study for having an objective and being involved in what you are studying instead of just meaningless and aimlessly studying English. And maybe you will be studying for 4 hours, 5 hours, and you'll get no results out of it. And I totally agree with that.
Right. Well,
Completely agree with that.
quality is better than quantity always. When you're talking about studying is 15 minutes of really good practice is better than 2 hours of lazy sad practice. So
Yeah.
but many people don't understand that. There are many people. When I used to teach drums, I still teach drums, but a long time ago, my students sometimes they would come to me and say, "But I practiced so long, I can't do it." And I would say, "But wait a minute, did you though? Like when you practiced, were you really trying, or were you just playing around?" And usually they weren't serious. They don't know what serious is. And that's what I found as a teacher, is that the truth is most people don't really know how to study well.
Yes. I also have an advice if
Sure,
it's just to throw my just
absolutely.
to throw my 2 cents. And sometimes you won't, like, studying a language is something that you will do instead of studying it for what it is. You will study it to reach to other content that you may enjoy. So basically, you are studying a language by doing something that you like. So if you enjoy playing the guitar or you want to play the guitar or the drums, you will certainly will have more sources in English that
Right.
you might do in
This
other
is what
language.
this is what I call being a creative learner. So,
Mm.
yeah, you could just go buy a math book and learn math with the book. That's one way to do it. Or you could look at that book and look at the exercises and then try to think like, can I come up with a game or some kind of an exercise for me to do that is more interesting and practical, that uses the same idea for me to still be doing the same thing, but a different way, right? That's what neuroscientists call overlearning. Overlearning is what they call it. But for me, it's just creative learning, where as a teacher, that's my job, is to teach the same thing 100 different ways. So I try to find one thing that's important that they need to learn. Past tense. We talk about past tense. Okay, so now I'll create 10 games to practice some aspect of past tense. Okay? And so we're doing the same thing, but it's a different game each time, so it doesn't feel like the same thing. It feels interesting, right? So when I learned music, there are many ways to approach music that way. You could learn rock and roll, okay? Or you could learn jazz, or you could learn blues, or you could learn, so there's other, you can move to another place and say, okay, well, this is not interesting to me, but maybe this is. Find your interests and let your passion guide your learning. Let your passion guide your learning. Yeah, everyone. Javi, did I lose you there? You're frozen. Can you hear me? Javi, I think we lost you. Oh, there he is. There he is. Hello, Javi.
I think it was because I was getting a little far off the router.
That's okay. It
But
happens. It happens. Yeah. Yeah. So
you were saying
go ahead.
you were saying how you will approach a certain part of the learning from different perspectives. For example, the past tense or the when you were learning the drums, and you were I lost you there.
Oh, right. So I was just saying, like, you could learn rock music. And then if you're, maybe that's boring for you or not interesting to you. Okay, so do jazz music. Okay, well, not jazz music. Then how about Brazilian music? Or how about blues music? Or how about, find another thing and go see if that's interesting to you. So the way I look at it is, it's like if I'm drawing or painting a mountain. If I'm drawing or painting a mountain, every day I go look at that mountain from the same place and I paint the same picture. Eventually I'll get bored, right? But all I have to do is just pick up my paints and go down the road and look at the same mountain, but it's different now. It's different because I'm in a different place, right? So that's how I look at all learning is there's a mountain, and now I have to figure out how many ways can I view the mountain so that I know that mountain. So some people, when they try to learn something, their idea is, how do I climb the mountain once to get to the top? And that's all they want. My idea is, no. I'm not just trying to get to the top. I'm trying to know that mountain. So
And enjoy the view.
like a guide, right? So which guide do you want to hire? Do you want to hire the guide that has only climbed the mountain once? Or do you want to hire the guide that knows that whole mountain completely? Of course.
Yeah.
Right. Of course you
Also,
want
while you enjoy the view and all that,
That's
you're
right.
enjoying the ride. And
That's right.
when you
Yeah.
have when you have willingness and you enjoy what you're doing, learning happens faster and more efficiently, and it stays with you way longer.
Yeah. That's why
Just how it
that's
is.
why when you think about your favorite teachers, you never think about the guy who was boring. Yeah, there's never in your mind do you go like, oh, that boring guy, he was such a good teacher. No, you never say that. You say that the guy who was really passionate, who was excited about learning and about, that's what I felt when I was a student, is I would look at my teacher and I'd say, he's bored. And I'd be like, well, wait a minute. If
Well,
he's
you might
bored,
remember that.
right? If
You
he's,
might you,
then why
you
wouldn't
might
I be
remember
bored?
him just to joke about him once or twice, but that's about it.
Right. That's right. Yeah. But if he's bored, then of course I'm going to be bored. If the teacher is bored, then the student will be bored. Right. So,
Yeah.
so I had to learn that, I have to show my passion if I want them to be passionate. It's about starting fires, right? Like I have fire and now I have to give you a little bit so that you have your own, you know?
Yeah, and the thing about a language, again, is just about the most versatile thing that you can possibly think of because it doesn't matter what you are interested in,
That's right.
language will become a bridge
That's right.
to it.
That's exactly right. Yes. And that's also why when you learned language, they told you there were 4 parts of language learning: reading, writing, listening, and speaking. And that is so stupid because they forgot the most important one. And the reason why there are millions of people who have learned English for many, many years, but they still can't speak well. The reason why is because they didn't know the 5th one: reading, writing, listening, speaking, and thinking. If you can't think in that language, then you can't write, read, speak, or listen well in that language. So when I speak Chinese, I think Chinese. When I speak English, I think English. That's how it works. So, and it's very important because you have to understand that also when you learn a language, it will help you understand the way people think differently. Because a different language makes you approach life differently. You're interpreting everything you know is now reinterpreted as something else. Okay? So for example, when you learn Chinese, Chinese is a bit more of a direct language. They're a bit more forward when they speak. American English is very, very, very polite. We're always trying to say, like, if my mom is around, then it's always, please, may I this, and thank you for this. And, there's a lot of pleases and thank yous involved and politeness involved. So let me think, what's the best way to put it?
We'll have a lot of courtesy formulas.
Yeah.
Or a lot of
Yeah, there's a lot of courtesy. That's a good way to put it. Courtesy formulas. Yeah. So you're expected to be a bit more formal about saying, please, may I this, or may I come in, or may I go to the bathroom? Not just, I want to go to the bathroom. Okay. But in Chinese, they're a bit more direct when they say things. They might just say, I want this. And it doesn't sound rude to them because that's just the way they speak. There's an implied politeness. That's just like in general over the whole language, there's an implied politeness. And so they don't usually say pleases and thank yous as much as we do. They do it sometimes, but not quite as much as we do. We do it a lot.
Well, I see a lot of people from China in the chat, so I'm assuming you know Chinese too.
I do. Yeah. So that's why I'm able to talk about it. Yeah. So that's what I mean.
I believe it's got to be one of the hardest languages out there. That's the impression that I have, at least.
It's pretty hard.
If not the hardest.
Reading it and writing it is really hard. Speaking it actually is not as bad as you think. The grammar,
right.
Yeah, Chinese grammar is simple. I love Chinese grammar. It's so simple. I mean, I've studied a bunch of languages, Javi, and almost every other language, the grammar is just more complicated. Chinese grammar is simple. If you want to say, I want to go to the store, look how many words I had to use. I want to go to the store. They will say, 我要去商店. I want go store. That's the Chinese. They take all the little words. They don't need those, So
it's more economic.
Yeah, they're more economic. That's right. Yeah. So, so Sylvia said, you don't think Chinese grammar is simple. Well, you're right, Sylvia. In the beginning, Chinese grammar is much more simple than most languages. But eventually, yeah, it does get a little bit more complicated. But I just think Chinese grammar in the beginning is so simple that it's so easy to get started just speaking. You know, the tones are hard. Learning how to say a tonal language, if you come from a language that's not tonal, then that's hard. But once you learn the tones, after that, it's actually not that bad. After that, it's actually not that bad. Yeah, the grammar is so simple in the beginning.
Two types. You have Cantonese and Mandarin, it's called.
Right. Well, technically, there are actually a lot more versions of Chinese than that. Yeah, but those are the two most common. Yeah, there's Mandarin and Cantonese. Yeah.
So it makes it even harder because you have double the work then.
That's right. Well, but for the most part, when people, please don't get mad, everybody. I'm just using a generality here. When most people say I speak Chinese, they mean Mandarin Chinese. When most people say I speak Chinese,
actually.
I'm sorry?
I thought it was the other way around, actually.
No.
I thought most people over there spoke
Cantonese.
Cantonese.
Cantonese is the southern part of China, right? And so people in the southern part of China often speak Cantonese, or they can speak Cantonese. But everybody knows Mandarin. Mandarin is the common language.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the one that everybody speaks. And yeah, that's why they had to do a simplified language, because China, there's so many languages all over the whole country that trying to run a government was too hard many, many years ago. So eventually they had to pass a law that said, we have one official language and this is it. And if you want to be part of our stuff, then you got to know this. And yeah, so that's Mandarin. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you very much for this little
lesson. Yeah, no problem.
But maybe I won't be having any problem staying here talking with you a little longer. But maybe somebody wants to step in and
let me see if anybody else raised their hand. Let's see. Yeah, we got Mew Mew wants to come up too. Yeah, that's fine. You can stay up here though if you want to stay up. If you have to go, you can go. But if you want to stay, you can stay.
All right, I won't have any problem. Like, I'm having a lot of fun time here, just in case somebody wants to, is waiting for me to.
And by the way, Javi, your English is quite good.
Exactly. You were talking about being using, well, learning with a purpose, for a purpose, or learning, being interested in what you're learning, and that's exactly what I did back when I didn't know how to speak.
Good for you.
And in my case, I was interested, for example, in in life you don't decide what you like or what you're going to enjoy. And in my case, it was country music and bluegrass and all that. Maybe I sometimes certainly get that I have a little bit of a strong accent going on for me. And that's where it comes from. But also, I enjoy, if you play a video game, if you enjoy documentaries, you will look at English sources because you will find more material there.
That's right.
It is the
worldwide
language.
That's right. That's the other nice thing about English is that there's so much. Like, if I want to learn Russian, I can, right? And there are many Russian movies and Russian TV shows. But if you look at the amount of American TV shows and movies compared to the amount of Russian TV shows and movies, there's no comparison. We have so much more. So there's so many more books and so many more TV shows and movies. There's a lot more in English.
And it works that way regardless of what you are interested in. If you want to learn to play the banjo, it's going to be more in English. If you want to learn how to, I don't know, if you want to learn about watches.
That's right. Yeah. Use your interests to help you learn. That's a brilliant thing to do, Javi. Yeah. That's right. And again, that's why these are the things that you learn out of school. Because when you're in school, you can't learn those things. In school, you are in a rigid environment where you have to adapt the same way everybody else is. But once you leave school, then you start to pay attention to these slightly different things or different ways of learning that you weren't able to do in school. Now you can customize and cater your learning experience for you, the person who's learning. When you're in school, you have to just deal with whatever they give you, however they give it to you. But when you get out of school, then you start realizing that maybe I might want to learn this thing, but maybe I'd want to learn it more if I do it this way instead of that way.
And you even see it these days. Even I can see smaller children getting invested in learning English just because they want to reach to the people they look up to on the internet. Maybe they are watching a Twitch
Right.
stream
Yeah. Well,
or this certain YouTuber and they enjoy their content, but there's this language barrier, so they slowly, without even noticing it, subconsciously start
that's right.
learning English because they want to reach to that content instead of
That's right.
because they want to learn the language.
That's right. Yeah. So English is what's called a lingua franca. Lingua franca means it's a common language spoken between people of different languages. So that means that if or let's say maybe if you go to Germany, maybe you can find, or no, let's say you go to China. You go to China. That's a better example. If you go to China, is there a chance you can find somebody who speaks Spanish? Yeah, of course. But is there a much greater chance you can find someone who speaks English?
Yes.
Right. That's what's called a lingua franca. It means that it's not the most popular language in the world, but it is the most popular language in the world between people who don't know the same language. Right? So if you're from a different country and you want to communicate with people, the most common way to do it is with English. It's a kind of a...
And I think that's only going to get more
Oh, yeah.
acute
Yeah.
as the time goes by.
Yeah, it will.
Definitely.
Yeah. But I really hope language learning becomes much more common than it has been in the past, because language learning really has been something that it feels like something extra. People feel like it's something you don't need. In America, I should say. In America, this is most people don't speak another language in America. They speak English. And even that, they don't do well. So yeah, most people here don't speak another language, and I think that's really sad. It's really sad, but it's because we don't teach language well here. We are not required to learn language here until we're in high school. And that's like too late. You're too late.
Yeah.
Trying to tell a 15-year-old, hey, now you've got to learn a language? No, you should have started at 8 or 9. That would be a good age to start for learning a language. But we don't start learning a language until we're in high school. And then it feels like it's really hard, and it feels like it's something that we don't really know why we need it. Because in America, you don't need another language. And that's why most people don't know one. Right?
Yeah.
We have Canada above us, and they speak English. And we have Mexico below us, and Mexicans, there's more people coming from Mexico to America than there are going from Mexico or from America to Mexico, right? So why would that be?
And just because of that proximity, they usually learn English faster.
Well, right. That's because they're coming here to our economy, and so to function well in our economy, they need English. So there's a lot of Spanish speakers here. If you want to speak Spanish in America, no problem. You can. There are a lot of people who speak Spanish here. But it's not the common language, right? So English is the language you should try to learn if you're here, right? But again, it's just a proximity thing. If you live in Europe, you're
overall.
Go ahead, Javi. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah, just English is so convenient because even for those people that are illiterate in English and they've never spoken a single word in it, they still can communicate by knowing things that they've just heard
Right. Yeah. Right.
and traits that will make it more convenient.
That's right. Yeah.
Well, it's starting off by the alphabet because it's these.
Javi, you're breaking up just a little bit. I'm having a hard time understanding you again. I'm sorry, my friend.
Hello.
There. I think it's getting a little bit better now, Javi.
Is it okay now?
Yeah, I think so. It's still a little frozen, but yeah. But Javi, look, if you live in Europe, there are many countries nearby that speak another language, and so it makes sense that those people who live in close proximity to other languages, of course, you might learn that language, right? So I have a friend named Miriam from Switzerland, and she knows like 5 languages, and that's very normal there. You know, like many people know 4 or 5 languages if you live in that region. But in America, there's no proximity, and so there's no necessity.
Yeah, in Central Europe, people are very good with languages.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
So, and yeah,
like
I
the
didn't get
zone of Czech Republic, Netherlands, Switzerland.
right. Yeah.
They usually know at least 3 languages.
At least. Yeah, that's exactly right. At least 3. I know many people from that area. Most of them know 4 or 5 languages. Yeah. So, yeah. But yeah, it's just a weird thing. We don't teach language as an importance here. And we should because of just globalization, just understanding the world. And also, I think American kids should learn another language so they don't feel so entitled.
Also for maybe I'm tripping here, but also for instructional purposes, brain development purposes,
Oh, of
maybe
course. No, of course.
give you more
Absolutely.
educational insight.
Yeah. Well, I think that everyone should learn another language, and I also think everyone should learn a musical instrument for the same reason. There are things that you learn in language that affect your brain. There are things that you learn in music that affect your brain in positive ways that you can't get from anything else. Yeah.
Definitely.
So, well, Javi, I think I'm going to let you go and see if I can get just a couple more people up here. But it was really great to talk to you, my friend. Where are you in Spain, by the way? What city are you in? Are you in Madrid or where?
I'm in a small country town called Zamora.
Zamora. Okay. All right. Well, I have a bunch of followers in Spain. If you go to Madrid, make sure you go stop by my friend Bellen's restaurant. Bellen, she's one of my best friends on Hello Talk, and she has a restaurant called Casa Marias. Casa Marias in Madrid.
Really?
Yeah. She has 4 restaurants in Madrid. But one of them, or maybe they're all, but Bellen, are you here? Where are you, Bellen? She might not be here. She's usually here. She's one of my most loyal followers and one of my best friends on this app. And
She's the head of a restaurant.
and yeah, and she's got 4 restaurants in Madrid. So if you want to go stop by and say hi, and you guys can talk about me.
Okay, I sure will.
All right, take care, Javi. It was great to talk to you, my friend.
Much obliged to you too. Thank
Take
you.
care. Yeah, Bellen's not here. That's too bad. All right. Did I miss anything in the comments? Aziza says, when I was teaching at school, the second language was Russian, but nowadays English is so popular. Yeah, Aziza, you know, what flag is that? Is that, I forget, is that Turkmenistan? Are you from Turkmenistan, Aziza? Uzbekistan, sorry, Uzbekistan. Right, and so Uzbekistan is a former Soviet state, and because of the history, yeah, Russian is the language that used to be the most common language, and probably still is the most common language there, besides Uzbek. But yeah, English is a more global language. That's just a fact. It's probably the most global language. So yeah, that's why more people are learning English, especially because of the internet now, right? Let's see. Due to the circumstances and due to circumstances. Is it the same, Isaac? Pretty much the same, yeah. Yes, if I said due to the circumstances beyond our control, we must cancel the wedding. Due to circumstances beyond our control, we must cancel the wedding. Do you need the word the? Not necessarily, but you can. They're both grammatically okay. All right? How long did it take me to learn Chinese? Well, I'm not finished. I'm not finished, Abdo. You can't answer how long it takes to learn something that has no end. In Italy, you say, then today it's going to rain. What does that mean, Tomas? What does that mean? Oh, excuse me. A little tired. How is my level at the moment? Joseph, I don't know. I have never taken a Chinese language test. I have never taken the HSK or anything, so I don't know what my level is. 可是我觉得我可以说我想什么。如果我想什么，我可以找你，我可以告诉你。所以这是 OK， 我觉得。我觉得我的中文就是还好啊。Sylvia, the time here is 12:26 p.m. Who was the best Chinese teacher when I learned Chinese? I mostly taught myself, and I only had one teacher, really. I only studied formally for 6 months at a university. So I had 6 months of classes with a formal teacher. But other than that, I didn't really have any formal learning. But I know somebody who needs to teach me more Chinese. How do I learn Chinese? 自己学. Self-taught. Do I answer my DMs? I try to, Muhammad Ali, but I have 46,000 followers. I get a lot of messages every day. So I do reply to some people every day, but I can't reply to everyone. I cannot. Yelpy. Abdo, you think if you can speak well, then you get the end. Abdo, I don't understand what you mean. Can you try to say it again? Maybe a different way? Yeah, maybe someday I'll take a Chinese test, but I don't know. I actually no, I don't know if I could. I don't even. I think I can't take a Chinese test now because I haven't practiced reading Chinese or writing Chinese in a few years. So if I had to take the HSK now, I would probably fail because I can't read or write that well anymore. But I can speak okay. And that's all I cared about. I don't learn language to take a test. I learn language to communicate. That's right. There is no end to learning a language. There is no end. Oh, Abdo meant, okay, if your Chinese level is good enough, that was the end. Ah, yeah, that could be. Yeah, well, Abdo, okay, yeah, thank you, Alyssa. I think you're right. That is what he was trying to say. Yeah, if I can communicate, then that's the point, right? I'm not trying to learn Chinese to impress anyone. I'm trying to learn Chinese to be able to speak my ideas in Chinese. In English writing, is the emphasis on logic? Well, Sylvia, that depends on what kind of English writing you're doing. Are you writing a book or a novel? Are you writing a poem or a short story? Are you writing an article or a dissertation? What are you writing? If you're writing a dissertation, then yeah, the emphasis is usually on logic. If you're writing a poem, it's not. You think I can pass level 4? I don't know. Yeah, I know Pinyin. Pinyin's easy. I'm not worried about Pinyin. You took a free online test and it says you're a C2, but you don't agree? Yeah, sometimes those online tests, you can't really... Usually those free online tests are not really accurate. You saw in an advanced English reading, you saw he do. Well, Muhammad, I would have to see it to explain it. Can you find it and write me the sentence? I need to see the whole context to answer your question. Hello, Mohanad. I've been okay. How are you? Ah, that's why you were asking me about DMs. Okay. Yeah, send it to me in my DM and I'll try to answer to you a little bit later. Okay? Sylvia says, so how can you think as an English native speaker? Sylvia, 如果你想我肚子饿你可以想I'm hungry 很简单 Okay, that's all. Just whatever you want to think in Chinese, can you think it in English? If you can't, now you know what you need to improve. Now you know what you need to improve. Okay? So if you don't know how to think about something in English, you better figure it out. Figure it out. Isaac says, going by the numbers is common. By the numbers means doing it the normal way, that the normal or usual way that people do things. So is that what you're asking, Isaac? Do people usually do things the normal way? Well, of course they do. Am I following the YouTube channel Fluent American? No. No, I'm an American, and I speak English, and I teach English. So I don't follow other teachers. No, I'm just me. I'm not trying to be a part of anyone else. Hello, Archer. What do I think about the new law about immigrants? Vane, it's very complicated, but I think all of our laws about immigration are really stupid. And I really don't think it's as complicated as they make it out to be. So I think it could be fixed pretty quickly and pretty easily, but the two groups that have to try to do that, they just don't want to. So here's the problem, Vane. Yeah, American immigration, the laws are terrible, the system is terrible, but both of the groups that are supposed to fix it, they both hate each other, and neither of them will work together to fix that problem. And if you don't work together, you can't fix the problem. So that's American immigration has been broken for at least 30 years. And the reason it has been broken for at least 30 years is because both groups are childish and stupid and petty and selfish and spoiled. Hello, Momo. I do have a YouTube channel, but there's not a lot on it yet, but I'm going to try to make a video later today, a new video. You can go here, and you can see my video about accents. You are welcome, Aziza. What will I do after the live stream? I'll get lunch. It's 12:30, and so I need to eat soon. I don't eat much in the morning. I almost eat nothing. I have coffee and nuts for breakfast. That's it. So I'm always really hungry for lunch. So I need to eat lunch. But Tomas, even in that form of subjunctive, that would be incorrect. I hope he do well. It should be I hope he does well. So yeah, I would have to see it. I'll check it later and see if I can figure out where he saw that. Tracy wants to know the difference between the three words ordinary, common, and general. 他们是一样的意思，这是普通的。一样的。Ordinary, common, general. This is an ordinary piece of paper. This is a general piece of paper. This is a common piece of paper. 一样的意思。Wow, Joseph said my Chinese is pretty close to a native speaker. Wow, I don't think so, but thank you. That's a big compliment. Thank you, Joseph. That makes me feel good. Oh, Kiki, don't start fights in my chat room, Kiki. No, Kiki, you can't ask a question like, are men more smart than women? That's a fighting question. Take care, Adam. How often do Americans use all 12 tenses in English? Archer wants to know. I can't answer that question because I don't know 263 million people or however many people we have now. But, Archer, here's what I can tell you. yeah, there are 12 tenses, but some of those tenses are very rarely used. Okay? There's no way for me to tell you how often each one is used because that depends on the person and their own sense of language. Some people may choose to use one form more than another, and it's still okay. But it's difficult. You're right. But my suggestion is to focus on the ones that are most commonly used, which would be simple. So a general company is a common company. Well, yeah, that would be one meaning of the word general company. A general company would be a company that makes anything. You know, if I just say, let's talk about companies in general, or that just means companies. We're talking about all companies, any kind of company. Okay, a general company is just a company of some kind. Okay? Why do Americans use a lot of idioms when they're speaking? Because idioms are interesting. Idioms are small stories. That's what an idiom is, everyone. An idiom is a story in very few words. Okay, so kill two birds with one stone. That's an idiom, but it's a story. It's a story. Someone killed two birds using one stone. That teaches you the idea of trying to do two things with one purpose, right? With one action. Okay? So idioms make the language more adaptable and more storytelling. Okay? Yeah. Headquarter. Yeah, general, okay. If you're trying to say that, that would be headquarters. That's right. Yeah. Or main office might be main branch. Is another way. If a company has many, many branches, many places, you know, they have a factory in Shenzhen, and they have a factory in Suzhou, and they have a factory in Shanghai, and they have a factory in Beijing, but the main factory is in Beijing. So if the main factory is in Beijing, then that's the headquarters or the head office or the home office, or there are many ways to say it. Okay? How can you make a request for someone who I don't know in the English language? What do you mean a request? A request for what, Gaida? General hospital. A general hospital is a hospital that handles anything generally. So that's the term general there, means that they don't specialize in anything. Okay? But we have some hospitals that specialize in certain kinds of care. Okay? And yes, we also use phrasal verbs a lot too. Phrasal verbs are basically improvised language. Phrasal verbs is somebody said, pull up to the house. Pull up to means take the car closer to the house. Someone had to say that the first time and put those words together. That's how phrasal verbs are created. They're basically improvised language that uses individual words to try to create new meanings when you put them together. You are welcome, Sylvia. Thank you, Mahanan. Thank you. Could you please tell me, smile, you want to know when to say instead of? Is that what you mean, instead of? Sam, to stalk someone means you are following someone that doesn't want to be followed. So, if you like a girl but she doesn't like you, and you keep following her and calling her, and you go to her work and you go to her home, that's called stalking. If someone is not interested in you, then you should not follow them around. That's creepy and weird and maybe illegal. I remind you of a famous American actor called Cao Cao. I don't know him. I've never heard of that guy before. Interesting. Send me a link, Joseph. I want to see this American guy in China. Tomas says, today I learned the expression, I'd rather you did. Yeah, I'd rather you did or I'd rather you didn't, which just means okay or please don't. So I'd rather you did means I'd prefer you do it this way. I'd rather you didn't means please don't do that thing. I won't appreciate it. What is my advice to pass the English teacher recruitment exam? Saya, I don't know because I have no idea what that exam is. All I can tell you, Saya, is that to be a teacher is something that requires passion. If you don't have passion for teaching, you shouldn't do it. It's not a job. It's not a job. It's not a job, period. It's a calling. It's something inside your heart that tells you this is what you're supposed to do. Okay? So I would just say be passionate and show your excitement for language and for English. How can we avoid very good, very bad, very energetic? You mean another word besides very? Synonyms for very? Okay. Yeah, let me help you with that. One moment. Here are 82 synonyms for very. Share? Try this. Oh, no, that isn't going to work either. Go to thesaurus.com and type in the word very. Thesaurus.com. Go there and type in the word very, and you will get your answer. Do I normally speak like this? Yeah. Do I normally try to be understandable? Yeah. Why don't girls stalk boys? They're not usually desperate. Sometimes girls stalk boys, but usually it's the boys who are desperate to be with the girls, not the girls who are desperate to be with the guys. What does proverb phrases mean? Well, proverbs are usually phrases that are from religious books. Nada. So, if you have a quote from the Bible or from the Quran or the Torah, it might be a proverb. Okay? Proverbs are short, popular sayings, usually of an unknown or ancient origin, and sometimes religious. Okay? How can I introduce myself in a meeting? Just be confident, Gaida. Be confident and smile, and remember that any job interview is someone needing help. They need help, so you need to show them that you can help them. That's it. All you have to do is just imagine, that person wants help, I can help them. Show them that you can help them, and they will hire you. Okay? Thank you, Mahanand. Thank you, Sylvia. Lots of teachers teach for money, only for money. Yeah, I know they do, but they shouldn't. No one should teach if you don't have a passion for teaching. It's not a job, just like being a doctor. There are doctors that only do it for the money too, but you don't want that doctor. You want the doctor who wanted to be a doctor because he cares. You don't want the doctor who wanted to be a doctor because he wants a Ferrari. Muhammad, the word grumpy is a word that means kind of angry or kind of not in a good mood. Okay, so if you're in a bad mood, you can say, I feel a little bit grumpy today. Okay? And the word dope is a slang word that can mean cool, but it depends on where it's being used. Okay? Right, Tracy. And there are many, many, many ways to say very. There are at least 80 different words that can mean very. Like, let me see. I think I have something that can help you. One second. I forgot about this. If I can find it. One moment. Here we go. Okay, I found what you need. Just wait 1 minute. I'm going to give you what you need. Okay, start with these. Boom. Let me zoom in for you. So instead of very noisy, you could say deafening. Instead of very often, you can say frequently. Instead of very old, you can say ancient. Instead of very open, you could say transparent. So there are a bunch of words for you right there. Take a picture. Take a picture. Okay, and I have one more. I have one more also. Right here. Instead of very great, you could say terrific. Instead of very lazy, you could say indolent. Instead of very hungry, you could say starving. Shivalaya, I don't need to zoom out. You need to turn your phone this way. If you turn your phone sideways, then you'll see the whole picture. Does Route 66 pass by Cincinnati? No, it doesn't. No, unfortunately. All right. So it's about, it's almost 1 p.m. here. So I'm going to go soon. So if anyone would like to come up and talk with me, if anyone wants to come up and talk with me, then raise your hand. Raise your hand. Yeah, Tracy, there are many, many pictures like that one on Instagram and on the internet. You can find many pictures that'll show you other ways to say very. Okay? Arthur wants to know, how often do I stream here? Well, Arthur, right now I stream here 10 times a week, 5 days a week. Okay, so I'm not here on Monday and I'm not here on Friday, but I'm here every other day. However, I'm going to be moving my live streams off of Hello Talk. Only 3 will be on Hello Talk. Okay, so right now I have 10 live streams a week on Hello Talk. But in June, around June, I'm going to only have 3 on Hello Talk, and I will move my other streams to other apps like YouTube or TikTok. Okay? Follow me here and you won't lose me. Follow me here and you won't lose me. There's, let's see, we got Nina, and is it Biplab or Saya? Raise your hand if you want to come up and talk to me. Hello, Naina. Hello, Saya. And hello, Biplab.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello?
Hello. Let's start with, Saya left. Okay, how about Naina? Naina, how can I help you today? Did you have a question for me?
Not yet.
I'm
I
sorry?
would like to speak.
You just want to chat?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's chat then. Tell me, what do you like to do for fun?
I read books.
Okay, what kind of books do you like?
Most of the time, I read the fiction one.
Okay. Do you like romance or action and adventure or comedy books, or what kind of books do you like? Fiction.
Sometimes romance, while sometimes thriller.
Okay. All right. Interesting. All right. And what else do you like to do for fun? You like to read and...
I watch videos on YouTube
Okay.
sometimes.
Okay. Do you have any certain kinds of videos you like?
Not actually. I just watch watch the videos that YouTube serve me.
Ah, okay, all right. And Naina, what city are you in India? Are you in Delhi? Are you in where?
Yeah, I'm from northern India, northern part of India, and it's yeah, kind of near to Delhi. Near to
Okay.
Delhi.
What's the name of the city near Delhi?
Like Faridabad.
Faridabad. Okay. All
Yeah.
right. See, that's how I'll learn. I'll see if I can find that on the map later. So, let's see. Can you tell me what is something I should do if I come visit your city?
Okay, so in my city, I think you should, instead of exploring my city, you should explore my state because you can find really interesting things over there. There are temples, there are restaurants you can find.
Okay, interesting. Okay, but why not in your city?
Because there's nothing special over there to look for or to explore when you're moving here as a tourist.
Well, but here's what you need to remember. Everything there is special to me. Because I've never been there before. So it's all new to me. It's all new and it's all interesting to me. So, Naina, I could say the same thing about my city. My city is not very famous and it's not very, very, very big, but I don't think I won't tell people don't come here. I'll say same thing as you. There's many things to see in my state, but there are interesting things to see in my city. Put it this way, Naina, I also don't think my city is very, very, very interesting. But I know that if you've never been here before, you might think it's really interesting.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Saya, I keep losing you. I don't know why, Saya. I had you up on the stage, and then I lost you, and then I had you, and then I lost you again. Maybe it's the connection, Saya. I'm sorry. I'm not sure why. Try to raise your hand again, maybe, and I'll try one more time. Naina, let me talk to Biplab for just a minute, and then I'll come back to you, okay?
Okay.
Biplab, are you there?
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much, sir, to have in the stage. So, sir, actually, my name is Biplov. Full name is Biplov Devnath. I am speaking from Dhaka, Bangladesh. Basically, this is the first time to join in this application. So I'm so excited to join in this application because I found lots of native English speaker here. So there is a great opportunity to learn English language using this platform. So thank you so much, sir.
You're very welcome. I'm glad to have you on my stage. Did you want to talk about something specific? Do you have any questions about English that you want some help with? Or maybe you just want to practice talking about conversation?
Sir, actually, according to my experience, when we speak as usual talk, in that case, actually, we cannot find out our weakness. But when we speak on any specific topic, in that case, we can easily identify our weakness, and according to that, uh, we can improve those areas. So I like to have conversation or have discussion on a specific topics, which
Okay.
is helpful, I think, actually.
Sure. No, I agree with you. I did another live stream earlier today, and that live stream is called Teacher Mark's Chat Room. And on those live streams, I choose a topic and some questions. And that's the reason why I choose a topic and some questions, because you practice English a lot, but usually you practice the same things over and over. You keep saying, "Hi, my name is blah, blah, blah. Nice to meet you. Hi, my name is blah, blah, blah. Nice to meet you. Hi, my name is blah, blah, blah. Nice to meet you." But that's not going to help your English. You need to talk about other things, right? So that's a very good point, Biplab. So let's talk about food. Let's talk about food. Tell me about Bangladeshi food. I don't know a lot about Bangladeshi food.
In Bangladesh, actually, we have some famous food biryani. Actually,
Biryani,
it's
yeah.
called chicken biryani, mutton biryani, and different kinds of bhorta. Actually, it calls bhorta,
Porta.
and
Okay.
usually people like this type of food most. And actually, hilsha fish is our national fish in our country, and it is very tasty fish, but so expensive.
Oh, really?
So all the people, yeah, all the people cannot afford to buy this fish. So,
Is it an ocean fish?
so this is the problem.
Is it an ocean fish?
Hilsha fish.
Hilsha
No, no,
fish.
not hilsha. Yeah,
Oh.
but actually we get this fish usually from river. Bangladesh is a land of rivers.
Right.
So there are lots of rivers in our country, and also we have Bay of Bengal.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Right.
but hilsha from Bay of Bengal is not tasty like river's fish.
Interesting. Yeah. Okay.
So,
Yes.
actually, yeah. Okay, please.
Same thing for me. I live in Ohio. I'm not close to the ocean, but we have many rivers, so I go fishing sometimes in the river. So,
Okay.
Biplab, what do you like to do for fun?
Basically, when I do my official job and when I feel bored, in that time I share something like that which makes the other people's happy or laughing, and it really helped me to make fresh my brain. And sometimes I also sing song
Okay.
instantly without any giving notification in my working place.
So you're an
So
entertainer.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Well, that's good though, because sometimes that you can learn the phrase "lighten the mood." Lighten the mood. And lightening the mood is maybe you're working and somebody starts singing just because they're trying to feel nice and feel happy. And now everybody feels happy because you hear the music, right? It lightens the mood. So there are many different things you can try to do. Tell a joke and be funny and play a song, sing a song to lighten the mood. Yeah, that's a good one. Okay, good. And Biplab, why don't you ask me something?
Yes, sir. Your name is Mark, and where are you from? Could you repeat again?
I'm from Cincinnati, Ohio. It's in the middle of the United States. If you know where Chicago is, if you've ever heard of Chicago, Chicago is
Yes,
in the
yes.
middle of the United States, but it's very close to Canada, right? So it's very far north.
Yes.
But I live almost underneath Chicago, but about 4 or 5 hours south. 4 or 5 hours south and a
Okay.
little bit east. But I'm in the middle of America. It's funny, Biplab, because we call this area the middle. We call it the Midwest. We call it the Midwest. Mid means middle, and west means west. But it's weird because if you look at the country, I'm not in the Middle West. I'm in the Middle East. But we never ever use the word Middle East to talk about America. Whenever you say the term Middle East in America, that means Saudi Arabia and Iraq and those places. That's the Middle East, right? So
Okay.
yeah, so it's a very weird thing because if you ask me where is Ohio, I'll tell you it's in the Midwest. But in America, the Midwest means anywhere in the middle. Anywhere in the middle, anywhere. It's a very weird term
Okay, okay.
because it sounds like it should mean, okay, it's the western part of the middle. No, it just means the middle. Yeah. So anything in the middle of America is called the Midwest. Anything in the middle of America is all the Midwest. So I'm from the Midwest.
Okay.
Yeah. And
So, sir, may I ask another question?
sure.
Sir, what's your profession? Actually, what do you do for living in your country?
That's a hard question for me to answer because I do many things. So when people ask me what's my job, the answer I usually give them is my job is being me. So I do many things. I'm an English teacher, but I'm also a music teacher, drum teacher, and I'm also a musician. I'm a professional musician, and I'm also quite a very good cook. And I used to work in restaurants, and I also am writing a book now, all about my teaching methods. And I also do some translation and business facilitation and marketing. So, Biplab, do you know who Da Vinci is? Da Vinci. Do you know
Sorry?
Da Vinci? Have you ever heard of Da Vinci? Da Vinci was
No, no.
he was a very famous Italian man from a long time ago, and he invented many, many, many things. Very smart man, Da Vinci. And
Yeah, Vinci.
yeah,
Vinci.
yes,
Is it Vinci? Okay, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard his name.
Yeah.
In the history, actually.
Right. So the question is, what is Da Vinci's job? He had many. He had many jobs. He was a mathematician. He was an inventor. He was a musician. He was an artist. He did anything he thought he could do. That's me. I do anything I think I can do. Yeah.
Okay, great, sir. Sir, I have another question. As you shared that you are from Middle East America, but your accent is very clear. I can understand you properly. So, what is the reason behind of this?
Okay. Well, yes, my accent, the Midwestern accent, is considered the most neutral of all the American accents. Okay, so my accent is the most neutral. That's the first thing. Number two, I'm a teacher. It's my job. I'm an English teacher. My job is to be clear. So, of course, I try to be clear. That's number two, right? Some people, when they speak, they're not thinking about their words because you don't usually have to think about your words. But I am a teacher. I have to consider my words all the time. So I do. And that's why you understand me better. And number three, I spent all this money on this very expensive equipment. So this is the nicest microphone you can buy for broadcasting. So if you watch CNN or NBC or whatever, they probably have the same microphone that I do. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah, and why did I do that? Because I'm teaching language. So I need to make it clear so you can hear it well. Right? And I'm a musician,
Okay.
so I understand why sound quality is so important. Right? So those are the reasons why you can understand me better than other people.
Okay, thank you. Thank
You're
you
welcome.
so much
You're welcome.
for your great sharing.
No
Thank you,
problem.
sir.
And Naina, did you have anything else you wanted to ask me?
Not really, but
Okay.
I'm actually working on my pronunciation, and for me, it's kind of hard to pronounce the word three. Can you tell me how can I learn this word? Because I have watched a way lot more tutorial on it, but still, I like suck at it.
Okay. All right. So the word three, that's the one you're trying to do?
Yes.
Okay. So what I would suggest is I want you to write down all of the words that you can find that have THR. So three and throw and through. All of those types of words that have any THR sound in them. Okay. And then, Naina, I want you to practice it like you're singing. I want you to practice it like you're singing. Okay. So try saying the word one more time, but this time I want you to say it a little bit longer, like flowing like this. So say the word three.
3.
That was perfect. That was perfect. That was really, really good. Yeah, no. That was excellent. So look, all you needed to do was slow down. Okay? So, Naina, if you can't say it fast yet, it's because you haven't done it slow enough yet. All right? This is about coordination, Naina. So, I'm a drummer. My job is coordination. And we learn how to do the very complicated things slowly. If you can't do it slowly, you can't do it fast. Okay? So practice the word three and say it nice and long like that. Practice the word throw and make it long like that. Breathe and give the words air. So try the word throw and make it nice and long. Throw.
Throw.
That was good. What's the problem? I don't hear any problem, Naina. I hear no problem.
I don't know. Whenever I try to speak it, I don't actually pronounce it correctly. It's like, yeah, I'm not doing it correctly. I'm like,
Well,
it's not good.
I'm telling you, you are, but you just need to slow down. Okay?
Okay.
Try doing that and focus on slowing down a little bit more. Okay? And you need to remember that practice takes time. Okay? So, Naina, many times people tell me, I tried, Teacher Mark, but I can't do it. And I ask them, how many times did you try? And they'll say, I tried like 10 times or I tried like 20 times. That's nothing. That's not practice. That's not practice, okay? What I tell you is if you didn't try it 1,000 times, then you didn't try.
When I heard of heard of the sound called th sound, and I was like, no man, it's impossible. How can I pronounce this sound like by putting my tongue just between my teeth? And when I got used to it, I literally try to whenever I'm doing anything and then I got it and like, okay, it's possible, I can do it.
So, Naina, there's another thing you should know about the TH sound in English. There are two different kinds of TH sounds in English. There's one we call the voiced sound, and there's one we call the unvoiced sound. So, the word three has the unvoiced sound. So, the unvoiced TH is basically just you put your tongue between your teeth and you blow air. So, it's just three. Thank you. Thank you. Those are all, that's the unvoiced TH sound. It's just blowing air. But the word this and the word that, those have the voiced sound. So now listen to the voiced sound. That. This. So now I'm still blowing air with my tongue between my teeth, but I'm also kind of making this buzzing sound. This, that, these, those. Okay? Put your tongue between your teeth and practice blowing air. You can get a tissue like this. Watch this. Ready? This, that, these, those. Okay, if you do it right, watch. Think. The unvoiced sound is a lot of air. you're blowing a lot, right? So watch the word three. Three, three, three. Look at all that air. Three, three, three. Okay, but the word this, this, not as much air. Not as much air, okay?
Okay.
TH sounds can be difficult. Naina, there's no TH sound in the Chinese language either, and so Chinese people also have a very difficult time with TH sounds. But practice makes perfect, and you just need more practice. The truth is, most people don't know what practicing really is. Because most people, they only do things 10 or 20 times. That's not practice, everybody. 1,000 times is practice. And that's just a fact. I'm sorry. But if you want to be good at something, then you have to do effort. Effort, right? So if you're always trying to do the least amount of work, you're never going to be the best. Okay? If you're always trying to do the least amount of work, you're never, ever going to be the best. So don't try to think about, well, can I learn it with only 20 times? No, don't think about it that way. Think about it like just keep practicing until you get it. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, Naina and Biplab. Biplab, anything else you would like to add or say today?
Yes, sir. Actually, I have the same problem when I speak with someone in English language. I also have a problem in pronunciation. So gradually, I'm trying to improve my pronunciation.
Okay,
So,
but Biplab and Naina, both of you say you have problems with your pronunciation, but I'm telling you, you don't. Why do I say you don't? Because every word you said, I've understood. Did I go like this? Did you speak and my face looked like this? No, I understood your words, so that means it's clear. So, do you sound like me? No, you don't sound like me, but you sound understandable, and that's the point of language. So, the only time you need to work on your accent, really, is if there's maybe a word that you say, and then I make this face. If you say a word and I don't understand you, that's a problem. But every word you both have said, I have understood. So that means you speak well and your accent is good. You just need to find maybe a few words that you need to improve a little bit more, like your TH sound. Okay, so both of you speak English well. Both of you sound good. If you want to improve, you can, but you don't need to sound like me. You only need to sound clear. So find the words that aren't clear and work on those. Okay?
okay, sir.
All right. Naina, anything
Thank you,
else?
sir.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. All right. Well, Naina and Biplab, thank you very much. And make sure you follow and come back and see me again, okay?
Okay, thank you
Yes,
so
sir.
much.
Okay. Bye-bye.
I have already followed you.
Thank you
Okay,
very much.
bye.
Take
Thank you.
care. All right, everybody. Let's see. Before I forget, if you like my teaching, please, follow. 2, share. Share on Hello Talk, that's okay, but I'm already famous on Hello Talk. Share on YouTube. Share on Facebook. Share on Instagram. Go tell people about me on other social media. Okay? And 3, if you like my teaching and I have been helpful for you, please tell me about it. Tell me about it. If you go to my moments section, you can write a story and say, I really like Teacher Mark's live streams. They helped me a lot. And now I feel like my English is much better. Okay, so you can go to this link right here. If you go to this link, 1 second. Go to this link and you can write your story and say, Teacher Mark's live streams have really helped me. Okay, I want 1,000 stories. I'm trying to collect 1,000 stories of how my teaching has helped you. Okay, so help me. All right, and finally, I will not be here tomorrow, but I will be here on Saturday. So come back and see me on Saturday. Okay? Make sure you hit the follow button. And thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for participating. Have a good morning or a good afternoon or a good evening wherever you are in the world. And don't forget to be a language warrior. Okay, everybody? See you guys next time on Saturday. Bye-bye.